So last session, you guys had essentially managed to sort of defeat Balak, and you guys were deciding how you're going to, what decision you wanted to make regarding the Godfire's tree. Urmon was very intent on destroying the tree, and the rest of you were sort of concerned for Sharwain's life, and Shay was particularly opposed to destroying the tree. Eventually, you guys made a decision that destroying the tree would be the sort of best thing to do. I think Karnaka eventually managed to convince Shay that it was a cyst and it needed to be removed, and the only way to do that was to essentially burn the tree. So you got Eremon, once everyone had sort of cleared out the way, took his torch and started lighting the lower branches of the tree, and it's quite a dry sort of tree, so it sort of engulfed in flames relatively quickly and sort of burned around you for sort of 30 minutes. While that was burning, Tara, you had Sharwain on your shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and she was sort of struggling against you, but eventually her sort of form went limp, but the black skin and the sort of effect that was affecting her eyes seemed to pass, and she seemed relatively normal at this point, and you see her sort of breath was caressing your neck, so you knew that she was sort of still alive. Ashby, you gained a couple of magic weapons. You did pick up Shatter Spike to begin with, and you also found a Wand of Entangle, but you decided to keep this between yourself and Karnaka, not informing the rest of the party that the item had any magical value. Tara eventually went in and sort of dragged Balak out as well, and upon his body you found 3 potions of healing, 2 doses of antitoxin, and some form of key.
Mm-hmm.
With everything with your sort of business done here and the Godfire tree just sort of burning down to ash, you guys decided to make your way back to what you guys probably assumed would have been Balak's study. And as you were sort of making your way past the sort of small the sort of grove area, all the sort of plants and briars, it all started to really decay and sort of compost relatively quickly. Now that the magic of the Godfire tree was no longer providing them with any form of sort of life. Once you got back to there was a nice little interaction between Ashby and Uremon, which gained you both inspiration, although Ashby obviously already had it, where Ashby passed Shatterspike on to Uremon and indicated that Uremon, you essentially gained a decision that you would start to build your own destiny in the sort of memory of your father, and Ashby promised to potentially, if he can, forge your new blade Shatterspike with the hilt of your father's chieftain blade. So that's something to potentially happen in the future. While that was going on, Sharwain eventually came to consciousness. She wasn't really sure what happened to start with, but she did indicate that she was tied to the tree in some way and that she was going to pass from this world relatively soon. She was able to confirm that her brother Talgon was destroyed by a hobgoblin. You assumed to be Dern, the hobgoblin leader that you saw earlier that was wearing his armor, also had possession of his ring. So you guys decided to go for a rest after that. Savina, you did gain Karquik's Tooth from Karnaka and a promise that you would give her the next spell scroll that you came across. In the morning, Sharwain was still alive. She explained that she already had about half a day left to live. She wasn't looking to go anywhere from the Citadel. She wanted to go back to the Godfire's tree and just accept her fate. She did, Ashby, you promised to let her mother know that she loved her and that she was sorry for being stubborn. So with that in hand, you guys decided to make your way back through the way you came, through the Sunless Citadel, as there seemed to be no other way to go. When you arrived back in the sort of garden gallery area where there was the relief carvings on the stone walls, sort of the dragon fire down on terrified people, you guys decided to explore a couple of rooms that you hadn't explored previously. You met with some skeletons, a twig blight. You also met with a new enemy known as a flame snake, I believe they're called. And Uremon got the brunt of them.
Yay!
Their sort of heat just sort of searing through your scales as they proved to be difficult to be near due to the amount of heat that they were sort of radiating.
I thought we changed their name to Flesh Pouches.
You guys can definitely call them flesh badgers from now. For me, they're going to be fire snakes, but you can call them flesh badgers. That's fine. Karnaka profited from their appearance by gaining a few small blue sapphires. As you were sort of exploring the rest of the bottom area of the Sunless Citadel, Karnaka in her sort of Belak disguise. When you went back to the larger, sort of more common area that the goblins were in, the sort of laboratory area, you decided to head down this sort of passageway that led to this sort of rift. There were a couple of sort of small nodes there where Tara unfortunately felt the brunt of some spewing fire towards her face, where you encountered another one of these fire snakes. You also encountered a room that looked like it had been abandoned for a while. There was a sort of dragon statue in the room, but as far as you could tell, it didn't have any of the same magical properties as the dragon statue that you had come across previously. So with the whole sort of level explored and no sign of the Karakas, you guys, the ranger, you guys decided to head back up to the citadel, at the sort of higher level of the citadel. And upon reaching the top level, Savina, you noticed that the shaman, Gren, appeared to be missing a hand, and a lot of the goblins around you also appeared to be missing ears and teeth. And at that point, I think you guys decided that it would be a good time to take a short rest.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there anything anyone wants to do on the short rest? Urmon and Ash, I know you guys have rolled hit dice, and I've got the rolls that you made last week, so we'll
Wonderful.
use that.
Wait, were we having a short or a long rest?
Yeah, did you say like we'd level up after any rest?
Yeah, short rest is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, Tara will do her Song of Rest if we're doing a short rest.
Yeah, that's okay. I think you said that last week because I
Yeah,
can see that
probably.
Urmon and Ash have
Yeah.
they both rolled a
Yeah.
d6 each.
Yeah, okay.
I never rolled any of my hit dice last week.
Shay, how much HP do you have?
Well, I mean, currently I have 15, but last week I rolled for leveling up, and I rolled a 10.
Nice.
Did you? Okay, you can add that onto.
Oh, I guess because we're leveling up as well, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would just be my.
You have
So
very
that-
little amount of health compared to everyone else.
Yeah, so that would be my max. But since it's just a short rest, then I'm just gonna roll. Okay, I'll take that. So I'm at 19 then. I don't know. I'll roll both. That's better. There we go. That's me.
Okay. Is there anything you guys want to explore, or investigate during your sort of short rest while you're in this room?
I think did we kind of explore it last
we
week?
did our
I can't remember.
exploring and stuff when we first came in last week.
I think we did, yeah.
You had a quick sort of look around when you sort of first came up, which is when Savina sort of noticed about the goblins sort of missing a lot of their sort of ears and teeth, and Gran missing a hand. I will say at this point, Karnaka's form seems to shift a bit, and her eyes seem to roll back into her head, and they take on this sort of wispy, silver-like appearance. And her form, the sort of color, seems to be leaching out of her form as a sort of she takes on the colors of sort of black, grey, and white. And she seems to have no sort of normal coloring, and her form becomes ethereal in nature. And you see as Volatoy just sort of lands on her head, and then with a click, all that are left are just these ethereal feathers, and Karnaka is no longer with you.
Oh dear.
Is this one of her new
Oh
tricks?
dear.
Ash, why did Kanaka just vanish?
I was afraid something like this might happen. She made a pact with someone much more powerful than any of us, and I'm afraid they've maybe called her away. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Bills to pay, bills to pay.
What?
kind of pact? And with who?
That's for her to tell you. That's not for me. I can just tell you she'll be okay. I hope. No, she'll be okay. I promise. She's fine. She's fine.
I mean, at least she has Volatoy, I suppose.
Yeah. Granted, Volatoy is a servant of the person that. But she's fine. She's fine.
Shay's face is very unconvinced, but she'll just go with it.
And Ermorn is like looking over at Shay, signifying that this doesn't sound good, regardless of what he's saying.
My face is the exact same looking at her.
Does this happen a lot to her?
No, but she was worried that the time would be coming where she would have to figure out what business it is that she came into agreement with. And as you all know, all business deals, it's better off that there's a mutual understanding between each other. And Karnaka's just getting the information now that she needs. I'm sure she'll be fine, and she'll tell you all about it when she comes back. This is for the best. She doesn't particularly like, danger anyway.
Yeah, I noticed that, and it certainly looked very cool.
Yes.
She's fine, guys. I promise she will be okay. And if for some reason she does not come back to us soon, then I will hunt her down myself and smack her around. Don't worry, she will be fine.
Okay, if Ash is confident, I am confident as well.
She is my best friend in the world, even more so than Molly, and I'm not terribly worried about her. So, trust me, she'll be okay.
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 Tara, can you make a perception check for me?
Yes. Perception. There. 12.
Yeah, cool. With that, as you sort of come out of the room into the sort of larger room, there's a glint of metal within the sort of pile of junk in front of you that sort of catches your eye.
Guys, there's shiny here. Should we take the shiny for Kay, or will she be mad if we leave it here?
Well, what is it?
I don't know.
What? Let's look. What do we have?
Ash, you're gonna retrieve it, or?
Actually, no. I am not retrieving anything because after my experience with that blasted book, I just Tara, would you get that for me, please? Would you get that for me, please?
Sure. Yeah, she's just gonna grab it.
Yeah, you sort of climb up onto the pile of rubbish and you start to pull it in. It's got a bit more sort of larger than you expected. And as you sort of pull it free, you notice it appears to be some form of chain shirt.
Nice. Here it is. What do we do with it now?
Well, I can identify it for you if you're concerned that it might be magical or whatnot, or if it's just a regular item.
Well, somebody said that, like, magical items, they always look shiny, right? Like, they don't decay or whatever.
I suppose.
Depends how long it's been there, I suppose. Yeah.
I mean, technically, I could also just put it on, and then we can if anything happens.
Yeah.
Sure, that sounds safe.
Yeah, Tara puts it on. Like, she takes off her leather stuff.
Okay.
Oh.
So you are now in possession of a medium chain shirt, which I believe gives you 13 plus your dex, is it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. There's no no effect or anything when you put it on.
You look cool, Tara.
It's a bit snug. It might be worth getting Ash to adjust it at some point in the future so that it fits you better.
Mm-hmm.
You rest your short rest passes without any sort of incident. You guys are now level 3, so you do have all the benefits that come with it as well.
Nice.
Level 3.
Level 3.
Level 3.
Level 3.
Level 3.
I can know my new spells. Woohoo!
Well, it is it to breathe in it, but apart from that, it looks really good, huh?
Yes, it's quite form-fitting.
That's one way to put it.
I'm sure. Shall we move on then? Are we exploring the rest of the Citadel?
Well, lead the way, leader.
We,
Shay kind of cringes at the word of leader.
we still have to find the ranger. So, yes, there's more exploring to do.
Mm-hmm. And then there's the kobolds to deal with as well.
And with Kay being gone, won't well, I don't know her patron or anything, but won't she just reappear right where she left?
Oh, that would be a horrible thing.
I doubt it. I mean, our patron is quite powerful, so I imagine if there's someplace else that Kay needs to be, Kay will be there.
That word kind of puts me at unease, Ash. Things that are powerful don't often remain good.
Oh, that's not true. There are plenty of good deities in the world. Just because there is bad doesn't mean there isn't also good.
He just kind of looks at you for a moment, and then motions to move forward. And then, as he doesn't want to talk about it anymore.
This is why I was being taught about religion.
I actually cut out there, but I'm guessing. Okay, so I'm guessing you guys decided to move on.
Yep.
But before we leave the room, I'm gonna write a message in chalk on the wall to Karnaka. Just be like, okay, we're leaving now. If you come back, we're still in the dungeon, but if we're not, then we went back to town.
Yeah, you can probably be doing that while sort of Tara's sort of squeezing into her armor.
Oh. This
You're fat.
So as you move towards the east, you come back upon the sort of small sort of long chamber with the sort of purpley haze.
Yes,
just
the
going
dragon's
right.
room was just north of here.
we never came through here because there's a dead goblin in this room, but we never.
We came through. This is
Did
the
we?
Yeah, so that's,
is the
that's
room
the way
where
you guys came from the
Right.
kobolds.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Right.
Yeah, we
And-
just took a different entrance into that
Did
big
we?
room.
Oh,
were
okay,
in.
okay.
Yeah.
and this room here is where the dragon is, or
That's-
was.
Oh, that cool.
There's a door here, I believe. And there's a door.
It was
in-
locked, I remember. Oh, we have keys. We have so many keys.
We have so many keys.
I have a key.
So the first thing you guys probably notice is that there is no dragon in this room.
Oh,
Hmm.
what happened?
The kobolds.
Well,
must have
maybe
found-
the kobolds took him back.
This could
Thanks.
help our lie if we tell them the goblins killed the dragon.
Or they're just going to be very pissed off.
We'll come to that when it comes.
We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Exactly. Okay, can I see if any of my keys fit the door? I think the keys I had were from Balsag's.
You've got the keys from Gren as well.
No, I don't think I took any keys from Gren.
Who's Gren? Which one's Gren?
The
It's the-
Goblin Chieftain.
The hobgoblin or the goblin?
The
Goblin.
Goblin. Just the Goblin.
Hobgoblin.
No, she was a
No, she-
Goblin.
The blade.
Choose the goblin caster.
I do not
You
know.
have
I have a
s-
key from the hobgoblin. That's the only one that I have.
I think you must have the keys from Grain, because I don't think Forsyth had any keys.
I swear it was like when we
Yeah,
were
whatever
in-
keys we need, we probably got it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we have like 4.
We've got Shatter Spike. We can tear down the door. We don't need a damn key.
We also have Bellax key.
We have
but-
Oromorn here.
Okay, cool. Okay, Forsyth didn't have any keys, so the keys you have are the ones from. They will be from Gran.
Okay.
And you do notice one of them does fit into the door.
Nice.
Who needs Shatter Spike? And I just unlock it.
But
I
does it
do.
unlock the
I
door?
particularly need Shadow Spike.
Well, since you don't need it, you can lead the way.
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
And as you open the door, there seems to be a small sort of 30-foot corridor ahead of you.
Okay. Boop.
Okay, so Uramon, as you appear to be the first to leave,
Excellent.
I
Yeah.
need you to make a dexterity.
I was literally about to say.
Oh no.
Yes, I was
Got
gonna be,
it.
no one come in yet. I was gonna be like, I was going to look for traps.
Okay.
Bad
If
friends.
I can order you to, or ask you all to sort of back up
Oh.
a little bit.
Oh, is this another freaking hole? Come on now.
I'm getting flashbacks to Lost Winds of Fandelver.
The whole king.
Here come some rats.
Oh god.
So Uramon, you fall 10 feet into
Yeah.
a pit. So I need you to roll 1d6 damage, bludgeoning damage. As the floor
Oh.
leaf-
Ah, success!
Nailed it.
Max roll!
So the floor sort of collapses, and you hit your head on the sort of catwalk that is there to allow sort of safe travel through past the sort of pit and land roughly on your tail as you sort of hit the bottom of the pit.
Excellent. He like falls to the ground. You hear him coughing. Watch your step out here. Bit of a hole.
Yes, are you okay?
You should be fine.
Do you need any help?
He's almost 7 foot. I assume
Yeah, you
my
could
arm
probably
span,
pull
I could
yourself
myself
out, but-
Yeah.
For
Do
Ash,
I need
that's
to
a
make
weird
roll or
idea.
anything? Oh yeah. Well, you
Is there
can
anything-
make that 3-foot gap I would need to hit 10 feet, I guess.
And yeah, Shay, from where you're stood, you can see that there appeared to be some sort of catwalk that allowed you to safely get over the pit, but Uramon seemed to have just snapped it into you when his head smashed on it as he fell down.
Oh,
Sorry, guys.
it's okay.
Can I climb out of it without a check?
Yeah,
Or
you
do
can
I
climb
need
it
to
fine.
check?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're good.
So I guess we're jumping across the hole.
Put the
If
catwalk.
you're nervous, I
amend
can
it.
catch you. Oh. Yes.
Where's the
Right.
catwalk?
So it's easy enough for you guys to climb down and climb back up. It's not that deep that you can't just climb in and climb out. It won't
I
be-
think Rash.
Tara wants to
Yeah.
jump.
Flash, it might be. Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of wants to jump as
I
well.
was gonna say, I don't think I could
Great.
jump 5 feet.
No, everyone wants to jump.
I want to try to jump.
Ermor like taps his chest and like opens his arms. Come on, right here.
Well,
So, I
Tara's
think-
gonna take a leaping jump.
Yeah, guys. As long as you've got 10 feet of a run up, I'm pretty sure most of you should be able to jump.
That's doable. Get back and then jump.
Run! Whee!
So essentially, long jump wise, you guys can jump as long as your strength score, as long as you get a 10-foot run.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
that's only 8
Oh, okay.
feet, which means I won't make it.
That means Ash can jump it. Ah!
It's okay, Savina, you can jump too.
I don't think so.
I should have thrown you. Damn it.
Maybe you can jump back over.
You can try and catch Savina if you like,
Yep.
Yeah.
and then Savina, you can make an athletics check with advantage.
Sure. Let's do it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, wait. Okay, -1. That was
Yeah.
You just sort of, you start to run and you jump, and Tara's like there, sort of anticipating you, getting ready to catch you. You jump way further than you anticipated, or Tara anticipated. You just sort of just land on Tara, and you're sort of both just in a heap on the floor.
That was a good jump.
I don't
Someone
think
help
I've ever
someone.
jumped that far in my entire life.
Well done, though. Quite impressive.
It was very athletic.
And you can see that there appears to be 2 doors leading from this.
Okay. I would like to listen to this door.
And I'll listen
If
to
anyone
this
would
one
like to
in the
make a
north.
check, yeah, just make a
Hello.
perception check.
What the fuck was that? Hello?
I can't hear anything.
Housekeeping, you need me, fluff pillow?
So there doesn't seem to be any sort of noise or anything coming from either of the doors.
I don't believe you.
Which way would we like to go if it's quiet on
See you
both
next
sides?
Do we have a key for any of the doors?
Oh yeah,
They're locked?
They're locked.
There's no sort of resistance when you sort of check the handle. They both appear to be.
How about you open yours first, Ash?
Well, alright, I opened my door.
Okay.
Mistakes were made. Maybe.
And as you open the door, you notice that it's just a sort of small square room. You're instantly sort of hit with this sort of horrible
Oh, it smells
smell
terrible.
of sort of garbage and carrion. And the whole room just seems to be very sort of unsanitary. There does appear to be a goblin. That looks like his sort of throat was cut in his sleep, and he's just sort of laid down dead in this sort of pool of blood.
The kobolds again, do you think?
Looks to be. Definitely caught by surprise. Primitive weapons.
Seems reasonable.
Why wouldn't they push further though?
Maybe they got what they needed.
I guess they got calibrex.
And I don't know which way they came from, to be fair.
Just seems like they came here and, like, as a force and they didn't finish the job, I guess. It just seems odd
What job is that?
to kill the goblin.
Maybe that
This
wasn't
one
the job.
looks dead.
The goblin's
does.
dead.
Yes. It's just confusing. Okay.
Well, you are going, so let's just keep going.
Next door.
Everyone ready?
Yes.
Ermon will open the door.
Okay. And as you open this door, it seems to be some sort of another sort of corridor, but you can see there's sort of dozens of sort of blunted and broken arrows lie on the sort of cracked cobblestone floor, and a few at the end of the corridor. I don't know whether you can see that far. Actually.
No.
No, you can't see that. There seems to be some sort of small camp directly ahead of you. Lying in the north of the sort of wall. There's a sort of firing there and several sort of small iron cook pots, but nothing that looks threatening.
He will like tap his claw on his foot against the stone and test the weight of his foot on it to see if it falls.
Yeah, if you make a perception check.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, cool. As you sort of tap your claws, then this feels like a proper sort of cobblestone floor.
He'll take one
It
step
seems like it'll take your weight.
and like wait on it, and then he'll move in the room.
Yeah.
All right, this one's clear.
A bit anxious, are we?
And as Ash sort of moves into the room with his lights, you can see that there seem to be broken sort of arrows protruding from 3 crudely sewn human-sized targets hung along the center of the sort of southern wall. And you see that the northern portion of the wall and the southern portion of the room are sort of separated by this crudely mortared and crenellated half wall. There doesn't appear to be anyone here.
And I've fallen down 2 holes, Ash. I'd rather not a third.
I
So
understand.
caution. Yeah.
She's going to just open this door because I don't think she's as worried about running into conflict for something. No.
Yeah, and as you open this door, you notice it opens back onto the pantry
Oh,
that you
yeah.
guys discovered earlier, where you sort of stashed a couple of goblins away. And there was this sort of horrible tar-like substance which had the words "elf pudding" written on it.
Waterborn, could you give me a hand over the half wall, please?
He looks back and then extends his arm to lift you over it. Yeah, come on.
Oopsie daisies.
Thank you.
Be a real shame if you fell into one of those holes.
Oh, tell me about it. That's why I'll just let you go first.
I feel that's safe.
Shay, as you approach the door in the southern area of this room, it looks like this one is locked, and it looks like someone's tried to force their way into this recently, but they seem to have been unsuccessful. You can see that the door is sort of got some sort of marks and stuff into it, where someone's sort of hacked it with some form of weapon. But it seems like they were unsuccessful.
Ramon, do you want to
Yeah.
break down this door?
Well, I'd love to.
I think just because I stole the last one from you, I think you deserve to at least break down one door.
I appreciate the generosity. And he'll take a step back and rear Shatter Spike into it.
Give me some space.
So if you just want to make a roll, and you sort of just raise Shatter Spike and just. And the sword starts to sort of glow blue, and you sort of embeds all the way into the door, and just splits through it as if sort of slicing through butter, and the door just sort of falls apart into sort of 2 halves.
My barbarian clan had a saying, easy peasy.
And
I like
Oh,
can't see it.
within this room, squalor seems to reign in this sort of low ceilinged room. A large iron spike is driven to the floor near the door, and a small iron cage is set further back. Several sets of sort of corroded manacles are connected to the walls, and some still bind a few crumbling skeletons. And you can see that there are 3 kobolds that seem to be tied up with some forms of manacles, that they look completely exhausted and being tied back. There also appears to be someone within the small iron cage, set towards the back wall. Looks like this.
Got a situation in here. Is it a human? No.
No, it's
oh.
I mean, did we ever find out what race the ranger
We
was?
didn't actually. I don't think.
No, I guess we didn't. We just
We
assumed.
just we're racist about it.
Oh,
Everyone else was a
Definitely
human,
a
so we
human.
just assumed.
I feel like a bad person.
It's just
Where
turning
you
something
are.
down and-
Oh, sure.
And at the moment, this humanoid appears to be unconscious.
Wake up.
Classic.
What color's my underwear?
I'll watch the door if you want to talk to your well, whatever he is to you.
Ah. You have a friend who misses you very much, and I will
I mean, he's still asleep.
try to. Yeah, I will cast Cure Wounds on him to wake him up.
Okay, that's good. Cast your spell for me.
Hey man, we could have needed that later.
Ah, we're level 3. We're covered.
Yeah.
They were so powerful, guys.
Oh! It tingles! It tingles! Oh, what's that? Oh!
Has anyone ever?
Blessings be to the great mother Shantea! She sent saviors to come and save me! Oh, it's so good to see you! I'm a bit cramped in this cage, if you wouldn't mind getting me out!
Put him back to sleep.
Has anyone ever told you sound an awful lot like a goblin?
And a kobold.
And a kobold too.
I've been teased all my life. It's not very nice. I would appreciate it if you didn't, to be honest with you.
Oh,
In
well,
your council.
it's rare I meet somebody who is roughly my size, so it's probably for the best that I get a few jokes in while I can.
And
Just-
as he looks, he's like, oh, and he starts pointing you. You're a pyrophyte! You're a believer in Shantae too! Oh, I'm gonna give you the biggest hug when I get out of this little cage, I tell you I will!
Alright, well then we'd best leave you in there. And,
No.
Oh,
I'm kidding,
please
I'm
come
kidding.
back. Oh, you're a
Wait,
big tease, you are, my friend!
Tara, though this might go against my better judgment, do you think you could
Uh-huh.
unlock this cage?
Well, sure I can. Give me a
Are you
second.
okay, Wenzel?
No.
Oh. No, I can't.
I'm just wondering why you're throwing knives at him.
Well, at least it was a critical fail.
Oh my shit, Alex.
Um,
Oh, you're a tease, you are!
Well, that isn't better.
Oh, what are you doing, love? Poking me with those damn things! Stop poking me! Have I not seen to be in enough pain as I am? Stuck in this bloody cage.
Well, if you would just hold still, I wouldn't have to poke you and I could open this.
It doesn't
Stop
really
poking
look
me.
like he can move that much in the first place.
Well,
Don't you have a key as well, Tara? You got from
I-
Belak.
I could probably also pry this thing open.
If something needs destroyed, you know,
No, no.
I am right here.
I'm a bit afraid you'll go through it like butter, and his skull
say-
too.
We save your talents for doors.
Tara, you may attempt a strength check if you like. If you would like to try and break it.
Strength. So, just like athletics
just-
or strength?
No, just straight up strength.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Oh, no,
you
he's
just,
no
you just sort
weapons.
of grab hold of the bars and you just sort of bend them apart.
Yep.
And you just see this sort of little gnome just sort of crawls out. Oh, thank you, my love, thank you, my love. And he just grabs you both your hands. I'm Murky Timbers, I'm Murky Timbers. And he
Oh.
goes over to you, actually grabs both your hands. I'm Murky Timbers, nice to meet you. And he goes to you, Shay, grabs both your hands.
I
I'm Murky
raise my
Timbers,
hands.
nice to
I
meet
do not
you.
shake his hands.
Wait, slow
He
down.
goes over to me, he's like, I'm Murky Timbers, nice to meet you. And he gets to your one, he's like, he looks up at you, he's like, and he just grabs like your finger. I'm Murky Timbers, nice to meet you.
He's not the ranger.
No,
He's
Yes.
not the ranger.
he's not the ranger. He's just
Well,
an
I kinda
obnoxious
like
gnome.
Oh. No.
Ranger! Who's a ranger? I am not a ranger. I am an acolyte of Shantae.
Oh, maybe that's a bit.
Ah.
Have you met a ranger here? He was taken prisoner by the goblins.
I am afraid I've seen no ranger. What do they look like?
Well, apparently we don't actually know. We never really
My guess
asked.
is they look,
I mean,
you know, like a
They were
ranger.
all human. And human, maybe?
Well, to be honest with you, it's not much information to go on. I've not seen any around here.
I'm
though.
sorry, we're not very good at this.
Where
Now
could we
I
also get the kobolds out?
Yes,
or-
they could help us with our bartering with the other kobolds. I say we free the kobolds as well.
What is it that brings you here to this miserable place?
I mean, it's already kind of done. We killed a evil druid and we've saved the day. And yeah, now we're saving you.
Oh, did you kill the wicked old human called Balak? I've heard the goblins talk about him and somewhere called the Twilight Grove. Down below.
Yes, old news. Murky, murk.
Erky! And he goes to sort of shake your hand again.
Urky. Yes, it's dealt. He's dealt with.
Casting
Well,
deafness.
And he says
You can
very out loud, I
Not
would
actually.
have too.
Wait, but you can
What
still
did you
talk,
say, my
though.
friend?
Nothing. How did you end up here?
Well, it's a long story, it is.
Never mind.
I come from a town called Winterhaven, near the Thunder Peaks.
Oh.
The cleric I serve there, Sister Lenora, has reason to believe that a cult of undeath has asserted itself in her town. Months ago, she sent me to find out, but I'm afraid I'm not well educated in the ways of the world. My bad luck that the goblin bandits caught me. I've been here ever since. My deity's blessings have kept me healthy. Otherwise, I'm sure I'd be dead from starvation and abuse.
Well,
We are aware of this cult as well.
we
Oh, you know about the cult? Nobody else seems to know about the damn cult. I thought Sister Lenore was winding me up.
Oh.
well, we
And as he's talking to you, he's very sort of emotive with his sort of hands. And he's just sort of making sort of fists and stuff into the air and stuff like this.
we must give our thanks to Shantea that you have survived and we have somehow found you. But perhaps we should be on our way. The sooner we get you out of here, the sooner we can get you back to Winterhaven, and the sooner you can leave us alone.
Oh, you're gonna take me back to Winterhaven? That's
Well-
so kind of you.
We'll take you back to Orcus and we'll...
Maybe she can help Sister Lenora. She learned from her communions with the Great Mother that an evil force has turned her gaze upon their humble little town.
I grab him by the
Whether it
fist.
seeks to
I grab him
increase
by
their
the fist.
influence. Oh, I know.
You don't need
What
to
can
keep
I help
talking.
you with? No, I like to... This happens a lot. People say I talk too much.
Yes, we already know a lot of what you're already saying. Maybe if you just be quiet for 2 hours, we can take you back to Orcus and we can
Actually,
talk there.
let's be as quiet and stealthy as possible, so that the goblins and the kobolds don't come back and lock you back in that cage. That sounds.
Alright, I see what I can do. Did you mention about humans, by the way? You know what? Now that I can remember
We'll
it,
try.
I do remember.
Hi,
I
hold
do
on.
remember
From
seeing
behind,
other
put her
humans.
hand
You
on
remember
her
seeing
mouth.
other humans? Hold on.
Wait,
There's actually information that we might need coming out of this blasted gnome. What other humans did you see? And please keep it as quiet and try to drop it an octave if you don't mind.
And he sort of starts to stroke his beard. The goblins caught 3 of them about a month ago. They were captives with me in here for a while. They said the names were Tower, Sherwin, and Sir Bradford. The goblins kept them in here only about a week before.
Okay, thank you. We already know about those 3. Thank you. We know about those 3.
Only 3 of them were caught.
We're still missing the ranger.
Only 3. I've only seen 3.
Well,
Yeah, then what happened to the ranger?
let's, I guess, keep.
Well, at
Okay.
least he wasn't caught.
Maybe he went through those cave systems that we nearly went down.
And if he is, then he's on his own. Because I don't see us
Tara,
making our way back.
now, while he's shutting up, just come from behind and put her hand on his mouth.
What are you doing to me? I thought you were saying.
It's little one. It's all right. It's all right. Just
I think
move with us. All right. Just move
Oh
with us.
no.
I want to talk to this kobold.
Are you still holding him, Tara? Or...
Yeah.
Okay. As you move towards the kobold, Shay, you can see it just sort of shuffles away from you. And just like sort of put its sort of back to you. Its face towards the wall.
Hello, kobold. Unless you have a name, I don't know if you have. Tell me if you have a name.
Say Ticklecorn!
The what?
Ticklecorn!
Good one.
Tickle corn.
That's the safe word.
But that means they make feel safe. Tickle
It
corn.
sort of turns around and is like, leave kobold.
We can bring you back to your people. The goblins are dead.
Kobold not know you. Goblin will sell back to people.
Do you want us to untie you, or like, are they chained, or are they just kind of there?
Yeah, so you can see they've got manacles on. You can see that the manacles are sort of chained to these spikes that are in the floor.
I'd like to try and remove one of the spikes.
As you go to grab, he just sort of puts his hand towards you and tries to grab you and stop you from undoing his manacles.
You really don't want help. I mean, I guess we can tell your leader that you're here, and maybe they can come and get you. How do you feel about that?
Goblins, sell back! Leave Kobold alone!
I just look at Tara. We're talking too much right now.
But maybe we should just leave him here.
Yes, we can tell. What was her name? The leader of the kobolds. We can tell her they're here, and she can deal with them.
Yeah, they all sort of turn their back towards you.
Well, if they don't want to come, they don't come.
Yesterol, that was her name.
Yes,
Yes.
that's the kobold lady.
Okay, let's just go then. Come on, Urki.
As you're talking to Shaitar, you see Urki wiggles his way. You're like, "Oh, you're a tough one, you are, lass." And he just gives you this soft little punch towards your sort of chest. I think we're gonna get along fine. This is gonna be so much fun. Oh.
I'm
And
not
he
sure
starts doing a couple of stretches and stuff.
I'm not sure we have the same understanding of fun, you and I.
I'm gonna have fun anyway. And he just moves over to you, and she's like, "How did you speak to me like that? Do you have some magic powers, lessons from the Great Mother herself?"
You know that I am a servant of hers, so just trust that my guidance will be sufficient in this. Just follow along, alright?
Alright, you've got the services of one Arcade Timbers on your adventures.
How fortunate.
As everybody starts coming out of the room, Ermon's just like nodding his head. We're ready to go then.
Please.
And I think Savina, as Aki walks by, she's like, "Oh, you're the pretty one, aren't you, my love? You're really pretty. I like red hair."
Just like hugs the wall and like slides past him.
If you get too close to her, I will step from your body, and it will not be pleasant.
Arky, just come stay close to me, friend. Not everyone shares our same joy of life.
That's right.
Ermon looks at you.
Let's go with that.
Looks at you
She
both.
scoffs.
I was just giving her a compliment. There's no need to act so sheepish. Ermon, sorry, what were you saying?
He was just realizing what Ashby said and looking at him wide-eyed. But other than that, he wasn't doing anything. He'll open the door though if we're ready to go.
Yes.
Oh, please, the sooner we're out of here, the better.
Oh, that's a smart idea, having the big one at the front. If there's anyone on the other side,
Arky,
put that in instead.
quiet, please.
We don't need your tactical review.
As you sort of walk into this sort of small room, the filth on the floor, stains on the walls, sort of shabby hides in the sort of fire pit, attest to years of use that the room is seen at the sort of hands of creatures unconcerned with hygiene. On the eastern side of the southern wall is a sort of side that, well, you can see that separating the northern and the sort of southern wall is a crudely mortared half wall, complete with crenellations like in the other room. And you notice that there are two goblins that seem to have been engaged in some sort of fight here. And you can also see that there's a kobold on the other side of the wall as well.
Can we see how the goblins died?
Yes, it looks like they've been. You can see their sort of skulls have got small sort of dents in it. You can see that there's a few sort of sling stones on the floor next to them. And the skulls are sort of battered and bloody. The kobold over the wall seems to have taken a couple of sort of arrows in its chest and seems to have sort of collapsed in amongst this sort of 10-foot wide hall. That seems to be liberally sort of strewn with sharp caltrops, which are the things you can see there on the map. Oh, blimey, that's a high wall! How am I going to get over that?
Arky, we have a rule in this party. The only people allowed to speak are those who were not in cages.
That seems like a very specific rule, but
It is, but, you know, we all agreed upon it, so...
We've always had the rule. It's a long-standing rule. We don't change the rules.
I was in a
Is it
cage
something-
once, and can I
Otter
not
orange.
speak?
Ash just elbows
sorry.
Oromorn in the, I guess, thigh.
if it's the way of the blessing of Shantae, then I shall keep my mouth shut.
If that's the rules, I'd like to follow them as well. I was mistaken.
In a
Um,
cage since we've been a party. In a cage since we've been a group here.
Yes,
Never mind.
Yes. Okay, caltrops. Are we going to cross these caltrops?
All day. He pulls out his bedroll, and see, I'll go first, and I'll push all the little spiky guys in the corner over here with the bedroll. Yeah.
That's smart.
Seems like a great
You're
idea.
so smart. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to speak. I'll be quiet, I promise.
I really want to punch him.
Let's-
So with the bedroll, he would begin pushing all of the little caltrops into the corner.
Where'd Savina go, Tara?
I was just like, nope, I can't do it anymore. I can't be nice to this abomination of life.
God.
Well,
And you can see that, Savina, you can see that Aki is just sort of giving you a sort of very keen gaze every now and again. Seems to be a little bit besotted by your...
I so wish I had prepared silence.
so
I'm
do you want to
actually
blind him?
casting that now. Yes.
You can still talk, though.
No, just use deafen on me, please.
Okay, what's your save DC?
14.
14, isn't it?
Oh, Urky. Like,
I use my inspiration to make him roll again.
It's too much. It's too much. He just sees right through your
He
spell.
sees through your bullshit.
I use my inspiration to make him reroll or something.
So have we cleared away these caltrops?
Yeah, so Oromon can easily clear away these sort of cultures with his sort of bedroll, just pushing them towards the sort of side of the room. It's not a problem. As you make your way to the southern area of this room, you notice that attached to the door on this side is some form of bell. Looks like when the door is opened, because it opens out towards where you are, it looks like the bell would be hit and activated, essentially, sending out a dong.
do we think it goes into kobold territory?
It seems more like it's intended to
Alert.
notify anyone in this room
Yeah.
that someone's coming
yeah.
in.
Seems like some sort of.
Just take off the bell.
Uramorn will just pull off the little gong thing that would hit the sides,
Cool.
just in case, and then open the door.
Cool. Yeah, this door's not locked or anything. This empty chamber, it seems to only be home to this sort of empty chamber ahead of you. You can see scattered amongst this room are sort of rat droppings amongst the sort of crumbled flagstones and stains on the sort of dusty cobbled floor.
Urky, you stay back there, okay? Bye.
Wow.
And you sort of look back and you see Aki's like really sort of struggling to climb over this wall. Which means it
You'll
takes a little
be-
bit longer.
You'll
but
be
he does
safe.
finally
Quick.
catch up to you.
Quick! Hurry! Run.
Damn!
So
Oh,
Uramorn
good
waits for everyone
job.
to get in the room and then opens the door.
Okay. Would anyone like to do anything else in this room?
No.
Now that she's
So
Is
that's
there
a-
anything on the walls or on the ceiling?
No, there doesn't seem to be anything on the walls. You make a perception check if you like.
16.
Okay, so there doesn't seem anything in the walls, but you do notice there seems to be tracks of some sort on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these tracks seem to be made by rats, but some seem to be made by humanoids.
Guys, there have been humanoids around here. Maybe the ranger was here, or it's just more goblins.
Or kobolds.
So we still know nothing. Great.
I guess we just keep pushing through.
Anyone that wants to examine the tracks more thoroughly may do so with a survival.
I'll give it a go.
I don't think everyone would know the difference.
Yeah, I was about to say, Ash
Y'all have
would have
small
the clues.
feet, like.
Yeah, so Shay, as you sort of bend down, you notice that there seems to be a thicker layer of dust over the humanoid tracks compared to the rat tracks. You can determine that the rat tracks seem to be very recent, maybe it's a day old, whereas the humanoid tracks seem to be almost a month old, and they were made by 3, perhaps 4 humanoid-sized
Oh, well,
moving north across the room.
these footprints look like they could have been from the party that Bellet killed. Or, yeah. They definitely came through here, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you know, at least 3 people came through here, potentially 4.
Well, we know something now.
Yeah. So maybe we'll find the ranger if we keep going, I guess.
They're going north.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, I think what she might be saying is if the 3 of them came this way, maybe the ranger got left somewhere
Maybe.
in the other way. Yeah.
Thank you, Ramon, thank you.
Or he could have gone back the same way he came in.
Maybe. Maybe he died along the way. Maybe we're going to find his corpse.
You seem slightly
Wonderful.
excited about that.
No, I'm just. I'm sorry. I'm in a bit of a mood. That's all. I'm sorry.
She likes the colors.
Even I like colors of what?
No, never mind.
She's gonna open this door.
Yeah. Well, go on.
Cool. So you open the door ahead of you, and as you make your way out into a slightly crumbled down corridor, you notice that it opens up towards the north, and it also opens up towards the south.
Well, this is different.
We have definitely not been here before.
No. Also, the structure of it all is different, unlike anything else we've seen in the Citadel.
How did he pass that magical barrier?
To the north, you can see this section of hallway contains what looks to be 6 doors, all slightly ajar. Whereas towards the south, dust and odd bits of stony debris and rubble sort of seem to lie scattered on the floor. There seems to be an ornate fountain built into the eastern wall.
Oh, a dragon fountain. Is there any water in the fountain, or is it just dry?
Yeah, so as you get closer to the fountain, you notice that though cracked and stained, the fountain's overarching carving of a sort of diving dragon retains its beauty. There's no actual water there, but the dragon's light seems to be diving into the well itself. You also notice that a reliefed carved stone door stands on the western wall. Uramon, as you get closer to the door, as you get closer to the fountain, you probably notice that on the basin's front, there seems to be some form of draconic inscription. Slightly difficult for you to make out. If you did want to read it, you'd have to make a perception check.
He has a hard time reading, but he knows Ash can read Draconic, so he would motion over to him as well. Ashby, some more words over here. Something the rest can't necessarily read.
We do love words. Let me take a look. I've had such good luck lately. And I will make my perception check.
Okay, yeah, and with that, you can just sort of make out they're mostly sort of worn away, the inscriptions, but you can make out that it reads "Let there be fire."
Oh, it says "Let there be fire."
And as you say that, the whole room engulfed in flames.
And as you say that,
It never fails.
the fountain seems to have some sort of magical properties, and reddish liquid begins to well from the diving dragon's mouth, slowly accumulating into the basin.
Oh wait,
It
okay.
seems to have a sort of orangey, reddy glow, almost similar to fire.
Lava.
Is it like overflowing?
No, it's not overflowing.
Oh,
it
good,
just
okay.
fills up.
This doesn't seem.
Maybe we should have Urki test it out for us.
Savina.
What?
Where's
And as it sort of settles there, you can see that the liquid starts to flicker and smoke sort of fills out a bit slightly.
Is it some sort of trick? Should we partake in the consumption of the liquid?
I'm not drinking that.
does anyone have any idea what it might be?
No, but it looks super cool. I kind of want to drink it.
It seems like a bad idea. But
Why
Yeah, I
would?
know.
What did you read? What made it happen?
I read what I said. That's what it said.
Did you say it in common or draconic? I wasn't
It
sure.
said
I
it in
imagine
common.
Oh,
Well, remember about a day or two ago when we found that other statue and read some inscriptions and was empowered or some sort of way.
So you're saying
Maybe
this will empower us?
I'm not saying. I'm just trying to leave suggestion that
Well,
might
we
be
were
the case
we
here.
were also attacked by the shady thing the last time we read something.
I don't think the two were related. I think there was just a shade there.
Oh, it's bloody pretty, that is, that liquid.
Yes,
It's like it would burn your insides out, though. Probably give you the shits for weeks.
can I get like a bit of paper that I have in my bag and just kind of like cover it above the liquid and see if it goes on fire?
Yeah, sure. So as you do that, it just it collects some of the liquid on it, and it doesn't have any sort of negative effect on the paper.
Oh.
So it collects the
I
liquid.
definitely want to drink it now.
Be my guest.
I mean, at least maybe we can collect some of it. Maybe it's magical, or maybe it's like a potion or something.
We could have someone else look at it later.
Yeah.
You
Do
know.
we have any flasks or?
You got my water skin. He
Um.
starts dumping his own water out.
Oh. Force value.
And fills it up.
So you're gonna fill it up? Yep, that's
Yeah.
fine. Yep.
I have a herbalism kit. Would I have any like stuff in that could like contain it? Or no?
As you're sort of rummaging around your herbalism kit, you probably notice that Urmon's already sort of shoving it into his
Now, Ormorn, don't forget that you dumped your water out.
Yeah, I suppose that could be a problem in the future.
Yes.
Shay, you want to
Yes,
mark
Shay.
the water skin or something?
Shay, you do find a vial in amongst your herbalism kit as well.
Okay. I'll take a small sample of it as well in my vial.
Does it feel hot? If you touch it, does it
Does
feel
it?
hot?
Does it, Alex?
Well,
It radiates a certain amount of warmth.
It feels quite warm. I kind of put it next to Tara's hand or whatever and see. It is warm.
But it is not like fire burning. It's just
I mean, it didn't burn my paper, so
Yeah, as you know, as you have it in the vial, you notice the liquid sort of orange liquid continues to flicker, and smoke fills the top of the container.
Oh,
While it's open, that smoke sort of wafts out.
I put a cork in it. If I have a cork, I assume I have a cork.
Yeah.
Well, then we should have used that on Urky.
I don't think any cork would
You
fit.
see, Iku's got his hand up. Ah, I can inspect it if you like. See if I can figure out what it is.
Are you a caster?
Well, I'm an acolyte.
I give him the vial.
And he sort of grabs that and says, "Oh, great mother,
Oh,
great
mercy.
mother Shantae, bless me with the
Dear.
knowledge to recognize what this substance is." Yeah, I think I've heard. Yeah, I think I might know what it is, you know? Yeah.
But what
Would
is
you
it
like
then?
to share that with us?
Oh, bear me a second, I'm thinking.
Oh, mercy.
Just thinking back to what Val Fern taught me.
Uh,
Oh, yeah. I think this is a potion of fire breath. Really powerful magic.
Whoa.
That is a
Fire.
lot of potion.
I was about to say, do we have any more vials around?
There is
mean-
only enough liquid for one portion.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess Ramon has like the one portion then.
Yes.
Then I have like a small vial that probably wouldn't work. Yeah.
But it's a pretty
Can we
color.
dilute it?
From what I can remember, Val Fern, you can drink this and exhale fire at your target as if you're a dragon. And he looks very excited at this point.
I am a
You are.
a dragon.
Yeah.
Well, I should have drank it.
Well,
If
Ermon,
you
you still have a potion of fire breath. It's just in your water skin.
yes,
I'll
I
show
mean,
you
he-
that.
you could give it to Tara.
No, I don't want it anymore.
Well, I already have. Oh, never mind. That's 46. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, never mind.
I want my vial back, okay? Give me it.
He just sort of waddles over to you and just sort of hands it back. Hi.
Thank you.
Hopefully, me and Shantae managed to do some good for you.
Hopefully. Okay. So, west or south?
Or north. We didn't explore the passages to the north either.
There were like a lot of doors,
There were.
like 6 of them.
I mean,
Yeah, you do notice that the western door in this room seems to have some forms of carvings on it that show sort of skeletal dragons.
ooh.
Oh, joy.
And there does seem to be some form of inscription on that door as well.
Is it
Actually,
intercom?
there's more words.
What's it?
It's a skeletal dragon there. That's quite omen.
What's it? Can I read it?
I can read it if you want.
Lord. No.
Yeah, Ashby, you can read it. Yeah. It is in Draconic. It's in Draconic. I know Draconic. If you want me to read it to you.
No.
No, I really don't.
No.
What does it say though? As I say this to the DM, not to Urki.
Yeah. It says rebuke the dead. Open the way.
I'm going to use silent speech and tell Shay that it says, "Rebuke the dead, open the way." I'm afraid to say anything at this point.
Good. I can like nod at like smart idea.
You're not gonna let them know what it says. It says rebuke the dead.
Oh,
Okay, I slap Urky.
I want to slap him. I want to punch him.
please just knock him out. We'll carry him the rest of the way.
Yeah, I'll punch him.
Okay, we have learned in this citadel that saying random words is dangerous.
Nothing happened. What are you worried about?
You didn't say the entire sentence.
Yeah, he did, and nothing happened.
Well,
I still
Okay.
wanted to punch him.
He deserves a punch. Okay, rebuke the dead then. What does that mean?
There is
Rebuke?
one thing that I can do, but I'm afraid to try it.
Well, I mean, it's your choice.
I'm going to stand up here. And I'm going to cast.
I will say, as you get closer to the door, it's radiating a lot of sort of a very sort of cold feel to it, and it sort of chills your bones as you get closer to it.
Oh, it's very cold. So, I guess there's two things we can do. I can try to rebuke the dead and use my channel divinity to use turn undead. Or we can breathe fire on it, because it's very cold.
I
Hmm.
think it is probably meant to test on. Is that a word? I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think the fire idea is good.
Is it just the door? Like, I mean, I know it's obviously ornate, but like, what's the consistency of the door? Is it wood, metal?
It is a stone door.
Oh, okay.
And you see it has all these sort of carvings of skeletal dragons on it. And like I said, the air is noticeably cooler around the door. And Ashby, as you're sort of touching the door, it's very cold to the touch, almost like as if your hand is going to get sort of frozen to it.
It's unnaturally cold.
Well, it would make sense with the fountain being there and all, that this would be the way to trigger it.
It would.
I could turn the undead if you like. I have the power to do so as well. From
Oh, well then, you go right ahead and do so.
So you want
Better to try it
channel
and-
divinity?
It's better to try it, and if it doesn't work, then we're back where we started. But if it does, we haven't wasted
Yes.
our fire potion, so...
You need to repay us for saving you as well, so.
And he just puts his hand on it. And he starts moving his feet. It's bloody cold, it is! Oh, this is so much fun!
Best to be
And
quick
you can
about
just
it.
see as he sort of glows with this sort of golden energy. And Shantae, turn those that turn the earth the wrong way back against us! And as he does that, you can see the door starts to glow this sort of ghostly blue color, and it just silently opens.
Oh,
Well, that was cool.
oh,
That
see?
was such a nice colour.
That's right.
What? I did it! I did it!
Oh, Christ.
It looks like a crypt.
I'm not gonna go in there first.
Savina, this might be your territory. It looks like
Oh.
dead people.
My bad.
Yeah, and as you guys sort of start to make your way into the room, you notice 5 dusty sarcophagi, 3 to the north and 2 to the south, stand on the end in this silent chamber. Each of the cardstone coffins resembles a noble, elf-like humanoid in ceremonial robes. There's also an altar with images of dragons carved into its black obsidian, and that's set against the center of the western wall here. A single candle burns brightly on the altar, and next to this candle are a small whistle and a crystal flask.
Oh,
Can I look at the statues to see if they have any like memorable like if there's any features on them, or like I don't know, like what kind of armor they're wearing, if there's anything like that?
So they are. They seem to be in sort of ceremonial robes. They're sort of stone coffins, and they're elven figures that are depicted in ceremonial robes.
Looks to be a crypt for those cultists worshipping that
The dragon.
dragon. Would you call it a Shadalon?
Charlotte. Yep. How does a candle stay burning in such a cold room, though?
how does a candle stay burning forever regardless?
That's a good point. Good point. I didn't think of that.
Well, there are spells that do something similar.
Okay, so
Obviously, those things over there are pretty important, but I don't know that we should take them.
does seem a little bit suspect to just take things from a crypt.
Maybe we should leave it as we found it.
That's how you end up with curses.
What was that, Savina?
So that's how you end up with curses.
That's a good point.
It's also how you end up with the best stuff.
Well, luckily our lovely little treasure hunter is not here today, or those would have already been plucked.
That's a good point. Oh, she'll be so upset when she finds out.
Oh, yes. Huh. Maybe I should just look in her honor.
I think as long as we don't touch it, maybe we can look at it or identify what they are, maybe?
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh,
I
Lord.
think messing
Arky,
with
what are
it's
you
not a
doing?
good
Arky!
idea.
This whistle looks amazing! Oh, it's really pretty!
Can I cast detect magic on that area?
Can I actually
Yes, you can.
punch him?
You're going to use an action to cast magic, or are you going to try and do it as a ritual? It's
I want to do it as soon as possible because Urki's triggering me.
Yeah, so the whistle that he is particularly seems to be interested in seems to be radiating some sort of magical energy.
Hmm.
It seems to be radiating necrotic energy.
Ooh.
Touch it, it'll be the last thing you ever touch. Alright?
The whistle's magic.
It's got some sort of writing on it, House.
What kind?
I don't know, I don't understand it.
Huh.
Best we leave this crypt, guys. Don't
Is
want
it-
to disturb anything.
Don't have to touch it, but
Is it possible to cast Identify on the whistle without me actually picking it up?
Yes. You can also notice as you get closer to it, the inscription seems to be in Dwarvish, and
Oh.
it seems to have the name Night Caller.
Whoa. It has a very frightening name written on it in Dwarvish. But just give me about 10 minutes, guys, while I try to identify what this is. I'm
Okay.
gonna cast Identify as a ritual.
And as you begin to identify
Lord.
the item, you'll need to roll initiative.
oh,
Oh no!
I told you guys!
The lids of the sarcophagi just sort of crash open, and these sort of skeletal
Oh.
figures
there's so
burst
many.
out of
Oh
them.
no!
It's alright. I remember what you did last time to skeletons, Oramorn. Don't worry about it.
It's just something we could have avoided, and now we've disturbed a crypt.
We did.
It's a crypt to people who worshipped an evil dragon. Who cares?
It's not quite about what they did in their past life.
Okay, so Uramon, the sarcophagi to your left, the sort of just sort of blast open, and these sort of skeletal figures with short swords, two skeletal figures against the southern wall, and three towards the northern wall.
Knowing that Urki probably can't defend himself, Uramorn would turn his attention to the one in this corner. And
Don't
kind of
defend
drive
him.
Shatterspike and
Music.
he has no weapon. We shouldn't let him die. That's not.
No, I mean, yeah, his voice, but he seems like
Oh, if he's lucky, Tara's not gonna kill.
Yeah, he just sort of brings Shatterspike up and sort of just slash it across the skeleton. You see as its sort of bones start to crack in, as it becomes slightly deformed, and it seems to be just sort of hanging together by the sort of last sort of part of its sort of magical essence.
Come at me and face your undeath.
I take it you don't want to move.
Oh no.
Shay, you've seen Oromon swing towards one of these skeletal figures with Shatter Spike. How do you act?
I cast Fairy Fire.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, I kind of summon with my wand and just kind of summon like these pinky red will-o-wisps and try and just engulf as many as possible.
And Urky.
So where are you casting it?
I don't know, just in general to get as many of them as possible. I can't really.
So,
it's a 20-foot
I think-
cube.
Yeah, I think you're gonna hit kind of everyone.
Cool. That's perfect. Do that.
I think you guys have to make saving throws as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
For everyone? Oh, I
Yep.
didn't. Does it?
Everybody.
affect-
Yeah, it says any creature.
Oh, okay.
What kind of a saving throw is it?
Dexterity.
Dex.
Dexterity.
Blech.
Oh no.
Everyone fails.
Woo! This was not my intention.
There's a fairy fire.
Except for the
God.
skeletons. The skeletons succeed.
All the skeletons.
I roll for each skeleton, but you won't see the rest because I haven't to pit them.
Okay.
Thanks for that, Shay.
I didn't realize this would happen.
Don't pull a Keyleth.
I was
leave
about to
your
say,
spells.
it's exactly what Keyleth would do.
Oh.
Oh my god.
And they all succeed.
Watch, yeah. If there's, oh,
Really? Oh. No, I really feel like Keyleth. Better.
Oh, yay, Urky! Great job,
Wait,
Missile
no.
One.
Say,
If that's the case, it's concentration. Just stop concentrating on it.
you notice that the two skeletons against the southern wall seem to sort of glow with the sort of pinkness of your sort of fairy fire.
I just point at them too, like, see, I did good.
And so do, but you also see that your comrades all seem to be glowing with the same sort of light.
Oh. Well. Sorry.
Oh,
so great.
What's going on? That's crazy! It looks so beautiful!
Shush, Urky. Yeah. And I think that's my turn.
Okay, I'm just going to add a custom. Okay, cool. So at this point, Uramon, the skeleton that you attacked just gets its short sword, and as you're sort of pulling away from your slash towards him, he just gets his short sword, and you can feel it sort of pierce your scales just underneath your armpit as you take 5 piercing damage.
okay.
And Tara, you feel a sword as well. Where your new sort of chain shirt is sort of tightly fit, there's a couple of gaps and stuff, and you can feel as the skeleton to that's sort of behind you to your right drags its sword all the way along your back, and you take 8 piercing damage.
How did I move? How? Okay, 8.
8 piercing damage, yeah.
Ouch.
Ashby, 2 of the skeletons start to sort of converge against you. One of them moving slightly closer to the altar itself. And what's your AC at the moment, Ashby?
19.
19, okay. So you see the one that's sort of moving to the altar, his short sword, he just slams it down on the altar beside you as a sort of warning towards you. And while he's doing that, the other skeleton sort of moves towards your side, and you can feel a sort of sword pierce into the bottom of your sort of chest area as you take 3 piercing damage.
I swear.
By the moon and the stars in the night.
I'll be there.
And Savina, this other skeleton just sort of jumps out of the sarcophagus towards you, plunging its short sword into your shoulder as you take 7 piercing damage.
Oh.
Okay. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh! Shantae! Bless us! Bless us with your grace! Help my newfound friends in their fight against these evil beings! And Erky Timbers is going to cast Bless upon Uramon, Tara, and Ashby. And you can see as he sort of he gets his hands and he just sort of swirls them above his head and swirls them past you. And as he does this, these sort of ethereal golden pieces of wheat just sway past you and sort of land on your shoulders, filling you with strength. And Savina, that brings us around to your turn. The skeleton has jumped towards you and sort of pierced your shoulder with his short sword.
Yep. Let me check. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mage armor myself.
Cool. So what does your mage armor look like? I think it's the first time we've seen you cast it.
I cast it once before. I actually
yes, you did,
have
yes.
any idea what it looks like.
Bearing in mind your connection with Karakas now, how would you like it to look?
Oh shit, I was not. I don't know. I'll think of it later.
It's okay.
I really,
No, it's fine.
I really can't think of anything right now.
Would you like to move or take any bonus actions?
Not really. No, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay, Tara, this sort of golden light from Erky's spell has sort of blessed you and sort of you feel sort of invigorated.
Yeah, I'd like to attack this one
Yep, cool.
with my rapier. Plus...
Yeah, so you sort of turn against the one that sort of attacked you and sort of slash with your rapier. But you see as your rapier just sort of goes right through its sort of skeletal form, not making contact with anything.
No, then that's all I do.
Okay. Ashby, skeletons are sort of encroaching on your position. Do you feel the blessing of Shantae upon you?
Oh. Erky, you might be as useful as you are annoying. And I pull out my hammer.
I'll always try my best!
I pull out my hammer and swing at the one to my right.
Cool.
And then I get a
As
d4.
you-
So, 14.
Oh, that's fine. You sort of come from underneath with your hammer and just and you just sort of crack it on its hip, and you feel you sort of let go and sort of let Shantae guide your way. And as you sort of crack its hip, you see its sort of bones start to crack, and the magic that sort of animates this skeleton seems to dissipate as its bones crack and it collapses.
Oh,
Nice.
I got one! Me! I got one!
Nice.
Well done. There's a few more though.
Just behind you.
I thought you could handle it all, man. And that'll end my turn.
Uramon, you can feel as a couple of bones sort of hit the back of your tail and feet behind you. You notice that Ashby has sort of dealt this sort of deadly blow to the one behind you. There's still 2 to the south of you against the wall.
He'll take another hack at the one he originally hit to finish it off.
Yeah, and you have advantage against that one as well.
Yay.
Oh
I
yeah,
imagined
cool.
that.
You sort of just lunge towards it with Shatter Spike. And, I see sort of the magic of sort of Shatter Spike just sort of activates, and the skeleton just sort of explodes, and you see Shatter Spike just sort of embeds itself into the wall.
It's just he has such a massive grin on his face when he uses this weapon. Like he loves it. I have a question. Instead of taking a move action, can I give this little guy a javelin?
Can you give him a javelin?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you like, yeah.
So Ormorn will pull one out of his backpack and just shove it into Urky's chest. You're going to die with weapon in hand. And in his turn there.
Oh, thank you very much, big guy. That was so cool what you did there with your weapon.
Less talking, more killing.
Shay, you can see as two of the skeletons are falling around you now. Everyone seems to be glowing with your sort of pink glow.
I'm gonna. Can I just dispel the fairy fire? Is that a thing I can do?
Yeah, you can stop concentrating on it. That's fine.
No more fire. Fairy fire. And I'm gonna use my short bow against this one in the corner.
Cool. So yeah, you sort of draw your bow, but there's too many sort of bodies in your way, and it's difficult for you to get a sort of grasp on where he actually is. And you see as your bow just sort of flies overhead and crashes into the wall behind, your arrow breaking against it.
And as a bonus action, I'm gonna use one of my Barb of Summer Courts on Savina.
Cool.
Where is the? There it is. One. Please! Oh, that's good.
Hey,
That's
it's not a one!
Hey.
So I'm just going to put my hands on Savina's shoulder and say, there you go. You won't die today.
Yeah, and just feel this sort of golden light and this sort of golden ivories just sort of closing up the wound in your shoulder as you gain 4 hit points back and 1 temporary hit point. As that happens, the skeleton in front of you, Savina, goes to sort of lunge at you again, but the sort of golden ivory just sort of erupts out of your shoulder and just sort of pushes the skeleton sword back away from you. At the same time, Tara, the skeleton next to you, lunges forward, and you feel as it sort of the sword pierces through the other side of your body, just below your rib, as you take 5 piercing damage. And then Ashby, the other skeleton, in the corner now, he lifts his sword up off the altar and just sort of swings it towards you, but you just get your shield up and you just sort of scrunched under your shield, and you sort of feel his sword batter against your shield.
I don't really care about this shield. Hit it again! Fuck, that's Paladin.
Oh my dear! You don't look so tough and rough now, do you? We'll make sure we'll sort that out. You teach that fucking skeleton a lesson. And Aki will put his hands on the side of your head, Tara, and you feel sort of this dizzy.
How does he reach that? How?
He scales your back.
You don't want to know, dear.
And you just, for a moment, you feel like you're running through a sort of field of wheat. As you regain
Whoa,
10
nice.
hit points.
Whoa.
Guys, Urky's a better cleric than I am.
Damn it, we hated him so much, pretty soon.
Ashby, after your identify spell, you notice this whistle is carved from transparent crystal, and it seems to resemble a tiny dragon curled up like a snail. As you had managed to figure out before, the name Nightcrawler is etched on the whistle in dwarvish runes. If you can make a Arcana or History check for me. Okay, cool. That's fine. You don't know anything other than that. You get the feeling that if this whistle was blown in, it's meant to be used in darkness or under the night sky. And you get the feeling that its narcotic energy would potentially allow someone to animate the dead.
Oh.
Ooh, don't let everyone know about that.
In that case, Savina,
Yes.
would you come here for a minute, dear?
Sure.
This whistle does things that I don't feel comfortable with. It animates the dead. And I know
Oh.
you have some... I don't know. You have a sacred calling for those who have departed from this world, and I don't really trust leaving it here either, and I don't trust it to be with anyone else. So at least for the time being, until we can figure something else to do with this, would he disappeared? Would you
Sorry, I'm trying to open his sheet, but it's not.
would you carry this for us, please?
Absolutely.
All right.
You. I think Aki would like to have a little look at that. May I have a look at that whistle as well, please, if it pleases you?
I don't know that you should.
I won't do anything bad to it. I promise I won't. I just want to have a little look at it, you see.
You already had plenty of time to look at it. I think it'll be alright.
The lady said no, little man.
Okay. It just has had this sort of sigh. Okay, cool. So I will show you this, which is some more information about the item. Just be aware that you don't know the bit related to the Arcana or History check.
Okey-doke.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
How would you guys like to proceed from here?
Out the room. So
We
still have this door.
resolve all those issues.
I think we did.
I feel
Hope you know what you're
relatively
doing.
good about it.
I hope so. So, door to the south, or should we go up the corridor and investigate those rooms?
Already here. Might as well take care of it.
Cool,
And
yes,
he'll
this
try
door's
to
not-
open the door.
Yeah, this door's easy enough for you to open. And as you open it, it just appears to be another square chamber with sort of more rat droppings and more dust covering the cobbled floor.
This looks like it could lead somewhere, so maybe we shouldn't push further.
All right. So that's what you feel.
It looks similar to the room from before, and that led to a new area. I think if we want to explore the rest, we should do it now. Boom. Boom. Oh, these rooms are tiny.
They're about the size of a cell, I'd imagine.
Yeah, so as you sort of move towards the north, the doors seem to open into small
Oh, Lord.
cells.
Yeah, I think we should stop at.
As you get towards the sort of middle doors, Ash and Ramon, you start to notice that there are rats within some of these cells.
Oh
Oh.
no.
And everybody needs to roll an initiative.
Hey.
Savina, you can move up from where you are.
Yeah, sorry, I was editing my sheet still.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hmm.
So Urki phases through a wall.
Oh, sorry.
He is-
my roll 20 has been really laggy.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Just
He
doesn't
seems
need to-
suspiciously powerful.
Yeah. You
That's
say
true.
he's just an acolyte, but
All
we
this
know he's
stuff.
secretly a god. He is Shantae.
I think Ash would be very disappointed if he was
Oh,
trying
Ash, your patron is fucking annoying.
I think that's one of the forms that I'm just not going to acknowledge.
So that is Ash's patron? Like, is it a
Shantae,
forging deity or what
no,
have you?
she's Shantae is complicated.
It's his ex.
No, that'd be really complicated.
Oh, it's like, we broke up, I still worship her, it's a little bit, it's one of those
That's why
things.
she broke up with me, because I worshipped her. Said I put her on a pedestal or something.
Yeah.
Ashby and Uramon as well. From where you guys stand, you notice that there appear to be two trap doors blocked open by iron spikes in the floor, and the northern wall holds a dry fountain carved with another overarching diving dragon. And as you guys move north towards that room, you notice that there's a sort of faint, rotten stench that pervades the room ahead of you. Uramon, you've noticed that there are at least one rat, potentially two, within these small cells.
Yep. Oh, it's my turn. Urmorn will. Are they barred or door? Like, how are the doors?
They're just like thick wooden doors.
Then he will go to both of the doors and shut them.
Smart. Yep.
Cool.
And we'll
Probably only shut one though.
Okay, not a problem. He'll shut the one to the left.
Cool. Okay. Do you want to do anything else?
Ready in action. If that other rat comes out of the other door, he will smash it.
Okay.
Or is closing door a bonus action, or what exactly is that? Sorry.
It probably would be a bonus action, to be honest with you. So if you want to use a full
Okay.
action to do something else, then
He just readies that action. If the other rat comes out, he smashes it.
cool, that's fine. You see sort of Urki stand up, seeing that you're sort of standing ready. He has that javelin that you gave him earlier, and he just sort of starts to hold it. And Shay, you just feel it as it pokes you in the butt as he comes up behind you.
Ow!
But he also readies an action. Tara.
Tara is gonna cast Cloud of Daggers on the door, on the square of the door. Like,
The door to your right?
that's the one that's still open, right?
Yes, that's the one still open. Yeah.
She's gonna cast it in the door.
Cool,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And
Cool.
get out her rapier.
Okay. Shay, you feel as the javelin that Urki Timbers is holding just pokes you in the backside. What would you like to do?
Watch it with that thing,
Okay.
Urki.
Your cloud of daggers, Tara. What do they look like when they're just sort of...
Oh yeah. The throwing knives on her armor start to glow, and they seem to be mirror images of them, and swirling in this slow, like, kind of circle area thing.
Oh,
Cool.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. Shay will run up to Ashby. Yo, I guess I'm just gonna close this door as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
And ready my sword in case anything tries to come at me, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so you see as this Ermon, you see as this giant rat just sort of jumps out of this room. Oh, no. And
Oh.
as it does, you see it just gets torn apart by this sort of cloud of daggers from Tara's spells, and you just see as it gets completely sort of dissected in front of you, and all its sort of pieces fall to the ground.
Yeah.
Your skills continue to impress me, Tara.
Well, thank you. So do
What?
yours, me.
Such a cool spell.
I guess I feel kind of foolish questioning you in the end that day.
Well, a lot of people feel foolish about judging me.
Okay.
Nods warmly.
Shay,
Hmm.
you notice at the bottom of the door that you're stood by, the wood is starting to. It sounds like something gnawing on it on the other side,
Okay.
and you can see it's starting to splinter.
Can I stab through the door, or is that not allowed?
Because you don't see anything, and you said it's if you
That's a
see
good
them.
point. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
You're not able to now.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Should be.
Oh, well, since I can't see anything yet, the minute one of these buggers breaks through a door, I would like to whack it with my hammer. That's it.
Okay. Savina?
I guess I'm just going to. I don't know. Can I actually see, like either of those guys?
So because the doors are closed, you can't see them.
Okay, they're actually closed. Okay. In that case, I guess I'll just ready a Toll the Dead in case I see any more hostile beasties.
Cool. Roman, that brings us back around to you. You see there's this sort of a piece of rat is sort of slidden into underneath your claw of your foot for the one killed by Tara's spell.
He'll kick open the door and just bring his sword down on it.
Cool.
Oh.
Okay.
That never happened before.
Use this as inspiration. Let's just go ahead and do that. We'll get more. It's fine.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, and as you sort of come through, you just sort of plant your shatter spike right through the rat's skull.
Ooh.
You see its sort of head sort of shatters, and just sort of this gore just blasts against your foot.
And then he'll move up next to Shay.
Cool. At this point, Aki's just gonna move up slightly. Oh, look at these buggers. Oh, you've done good damage to these ones. I'm just gonna have a little look at them. He's going to,
Oh, my.
Right.
he's gonna spend his time inspecting the dead bodies of the rats. Tara.
Well, it seems pretty crowded up there. Just gonna stay there, and hold, dissonant whisper for when she sees one of them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Shay.
So do you say that she heard the gnawing at the door?
Yeah, you can hear this one still sort of gnawing at the door, and you can see that the door is starting to splinter around the bottom.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna open the door.
Okay, cool, yeah. As you open the door, you see that there's this rat hung on to, with its sort of mouth clanging onto the bottom of the door.
And I'll just swipe at it with my sword.
Okay, yeah, cool. And you just bring your sort of scimitar down, totally beheading it. His head is still sort of clinched. It's sort of jaws gnawing against the bottom of the door, but its body is sort of collapsed to the ground beside it. Cool.
I don't ever want to turn into a rat.
That makes two of us?
I mean, at least I can do it, but still, I don't want to turn into a rat.
So what, you're saying I'm not special like you? I don't have the ability to turn into things?
I mean, maybe one day, but for now.
I quite
I definitely wouldn't want to turn into one of these rats. I think they may be some sort of disease on them. I wouldn't get too close if I was you.
Well, a lot of rats carry diseases. That's not that special.
Well, if you want a disease, my love, you can have a disease, but I don't want one.
We appreciate the effort, Urky.
Yes.
Do we really?
Well,
you guys do get
Sure.
52 experience for this encounter and the previous one.
Ooh.
Cool. And Shay, you can see that within this one, and Ormond, you would have noticed it within the other sort of cell as well. There seems to be giant nests that the rats were living within.
I'll go and investigate the nest.
Cool.
Be careful in there. If
I will be.
Well, he said if they're disease, there might be something you can contract it from.
I will be fine. What roll should I make?
Yeah, you don't need to make any roll.
Oh,
You
good.
can just sort of, within the sort of nest itself, you can see that there are some gold and silver pieces. It looks like there is 6 silver pieces and 4 gold pieces.
Okay. There's some change, not a lot.
it's a lot to a rat.
You also notice that there seems to be a small sort of green gem. It's very, very small. It seems to be some sort of agate, but it's smaller than what you'd normally expect to see.
I'll take
You
the agate as well.
determine that's probably worth about 5 gold pieces.
Cool. I have like no gold, so whatever.
I literally have no gold.
Shay holds all my money.
You guys notice the traps up ahead seem to have been jammed open. You guess it probably wouldn't have been done by rats. And you do notice that there seem to be footprints here in the dust as well.
Are these similar to the ones I saw before?
You can make a survival check if you wish
Damn
to
it.
determine.
Are they safe to traverse?
Damn it.
The pits.
Yeah.
So you can have a look into the pits if you like. You can see within the pits there seem to be rat bones, rusted metal bits and filth. The traps have been jammed open, and you can see that sort of catwalks have been placed along the center of them, so you can. Sort of
Okay, that's
transverse
what I was curious about. Yeah.
And I rolled an 8 for survival. Whee!
Ermorn would kneel down looking for any writing as the other fountains had, and kind of motion
same.
Ash over as well.
Oh, this one looks awfully similar to the ones we saw previously in that other room.
Yes, thank you for that. I hadn't noticed.
Make a perception check if you would like to see if there's any form of inscription. Okay, Ermon, you're just sort of looking around. You're not the biggest
like a
reader, so you're
fountain.
not really
Looks
sure
like
what
a
to look for. Ashby, on the other hand, you do manage to see another mostly worn away inscription in Draconic, and you know that this one reads, "Let there be death."
Oh.
You didn't read it aloud, did you?
Urky,
Hold
come
on.
here.
Hold on. Everyone, let's move back back out of the room. But Urki, stand over there by
Urki,
the
Okay.
by the fountain for me, please. I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling good. Okay. Now,
You want me to stand here, Speed?
yes. And now I'm going to use. Come on, Uramorn. Don't be noble
Looking
now.
at you like, come on now.
I'm gonna stay in the room. I'm not gonna leave, but I'm backing up
If
against the wall.
something bad goes down, Ermorn is ready in action to grab Urki and throw him in the pit.
Wait, and like to save him?
Yeah, if like anything like starts bubbling over from the fountain or something.
Then
or
it'll bubble
reaches
into
out
the
from-
pit.
Yeah, but it'll have more time to
I'm
get
messing
out.
with you. I'm messing with you. It's all right. Is everyone ready?
No. Why are you all afraid?
Well, you know how the last one said let there be fire, and there was fire. Well, this one, the thing it says is death, and so either we're going to get a draft of some sort of, very useful potion type thing, or we're all going to die.
I should have written a letter to my
I
father.
really don't like that option.
I'd say.
But that said,
Oh, Urki, so unwise.
is everyone where they want to be?
Yes.
Wait. Yes.
Anyone that is worried can make a perception check if they wish.
Yes.
Percept. Whoa, Shay.
I have such eyes.
Shay, your eyes, maybe it's keener than the others. You notice that there seem to be suspicious metallic tubes in the carving of the dragon's mouth, as well as a small rusted iron canister.
Wait. It's clearly a trap. It looks there's tubing and stuff inside the statue.
Right, it comes out through the statue's mouth like a fountain.
Like a trap.
Huh.
It looks like a trap.
And I will say, anyone against that sort of western wall, you guys can smell the stench of rotten meat coming from the other side.
Oh yes, there's a door there.
Well,
I think maybe we shouldn't activate whatever this
Oh,
is
no.
at the moment.
Oh no.
What is happening?
And you see, Aki's still sort of looking through the inscription. He's sort of a bit confused as to what you're on about, Ash.
Don't worry about it, Arky. Just step back. It's all right. It's not worth the risk.
But I wanted to see. What does it say?
It says turn around and walk away. So let's turn around and walk away. Which way is there a catwalk to the door on the western side?
Yes, there's a catwalk in between the center of these two. That sort of trap there as well.
And
And as you guys get closer to this door, the smell of rotten meat just sort of permeates from the other side of the door.
Well, we're here. I'm going to open the door.
Okay. Cool, yeah. And as you open the door, an oppressive smell faces the air, rising from the chewed carcass of cave rats, smaller vermin, and a few humanoid-looking creatures. The bodies lie upon a floor of filth, old bones, hair, and fur that combine to make a particularly large and vile nest.
This is gross.
There's a lot of disgusting dead bodies and such in here, and as much as I'd like to see if our ranger has somehow found his way to this unfortunate haven, I'm inclined to walk away.
The smell is really bad.
Yes.
That says something coming from us at this point.
Should at this point, should we maybe accept the ranger might not be alive?
Well, I'm fairly certain he's not alive.
Well, maybe he got out by himself. We don't know.
That's the best out. I suppose.
Well, if it was a month ago that they came
Fine.
here, why wouldn't he have gone back to the village?
Well, maybe he just came out yesterday.
So
I don't
May-
know.
we crossed paths at some point.
When did I
Oh,
don't know.
bye, Urmord.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Okay
Mike?
then.
My concern is that something bad is going to be summoned by this awful thing, and so
Well, there's definitely a human in here. I mean, he looks pretty dead to me, but
Well,
Ermorn would go in if he sees a human that looks
Yeah,
recent. He would
Ash
pull
will
it
We
out.
go
should
in too.
confirm it. Yes.
with the stench. Oof.
These colours are not nice at all.
Where do you see him, Arky?
and at this point, I need you all to roll initiative.
Of
Of
course.
Obviously.
We could have left the room, but we didn't. But it's fine. Because we're good guys. Oh.
Urban, Ash, you guys are on the same thing as well.
Got it.
Damn it, I'm not.
I tied with Tara again.
Yeah.
Our initiative rolls this time around are pretty lousy.
Yeah.
Maybe we need Karnak.
With her 20s.
Yeah.
Well, those are usually for her bird.
Yeah, that's true.
Volatoy gets to go
We
first
need
at all
Volatoid.
times.
That's
Oh.
it.
We just need
Yeah.
the bird.
The trap
Yeah.
rolled an 8. How does the trap roll initiative?
I'll just roll higher than
It's
me.
sentient!
It's a mimic.
Mimic
Oh, no.
pit.
Oh, that'd be shitty. Like, at first you fall into a trap and then realize it's not only a trap, but it's a mimic.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a
That
mimic's
trap,
open
that trap
mouth.
is irky.
That trap is already.
Okay, so as you move into this room, it seems to be a giant sort of nest, and from within the nest, 3 rats.
Oh, okay.
Just, 3 rats appear, as well as a massive, monstrously swollen female rat.
Oh,
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 Mama
not a,
rat.
not a pregnant rat.
Mama
She's
rat.
swole.
oh, the one with the fist. Okay. I thought we were going to see like a
Uh,
giant rat just appear in the room.
Everybody has survived with the surprised with the exception of Shay.
Dang. Ba-da-ding.
Shay, you do get to act before the rats, though. You can see they're starting to crawl out of their nest.
Hmm.
And you can see they've got sort of bits of flesh that they seem to have been eaten within their nest.
Ugh.
Actually, I'm going to move you down close to the rat.
Oh, alright.
Yeah, I guess she will just attack the rat next to her with the sword. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so you sort of just bring your scimitar down low, taking or you remember being attacked by these rats in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Just bring your scimitar down, slicing right through the center of his body.
You will not get my ankles today. And then with the rest of my movement, I'm just going to maneuver over here.
Okay, cool, yeah. And as you move behind the giant sort of female rat, it turns behind you and grabs onto your ankle. As you take,
Not her ankles again!
Got him!
Why my ankles?
you take 6 piercing damage,
No!
and you must make a Constitution saving throw.
No!
That'll do. That's fine. Yeah. You can feel the sort of rotten stuff and sort of decaying flesh start to sort of dig into your flesh that's sort of attached to this this sort of bloated rat's teeth. But you manage to sort of shake it off before it can sort of take any effect against you. Okay, Ashby. The rat in front of you moves away from you. You can take a reaction against it if you wish.
Oh, sure.
As they all seem to turn their attention towards Shay.
Nice.
Okay, yeah, cool. You sort of smash a hammer down on its tail, and the tail stays under its hammer as the rest of its body sort of moves forward, and it's sort of bleeding from the backside of its back on its backside, I suppose. Shay, this rat also jumps onto your other ankle, doing 6 piercing damage.
No!
You're deliberately going for my ankles. Oh, I know that you said 6, sir?
Yeah, 6, yeah.
Okay. Goodness. 15.
Ashby.
Oh my god.
I
Well, they
can't do
love my
anything that
ankles.
time.
Okay, you can't do anything that time, and it doesn't actually move out of your reach or a mon, so you don't get an opportunity attack.
Would
as
Tara?
This other rat just comes towards you. Yes, Tara, you do actually get a opportunity attack.
Nice.
No, you see as this rat just sort of skids its way around Oromon, and you sort of go towards it, and you just sort of feel your body sort of crash into Oromon a bit.
Hey.
Sorry, poor
As
guy,
you-
sorry.
Shay, as you shake the sort of large bloated rat off, this other rat just grips onto your ankle at the same time, dealing another 4 piercing damage.
Fucking ankles.
Can't get to you either.
Like, it's like they're taking turns. I don't understand.
Why did it go in that corner?
Because I thought I was being tactical, and then they all fucking swarmed me.
Yeah, they seem to be following the influence of the larger bloated rat. Tara, you've sort of swung towards this rat. You're sort of tangled up into Ramon a bit at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's gonna move up, and she's gonna hit the rat. Or not.
Yeah, and
Can
as
it be the other way around?
Wow.
Iramon's just a little bit. Iramon's still like a little bit flustered when you.
Why
sort of
is
crash
this
into him.
my fault?
you
I'm
feel
taking
his
up a lot of
tail
space.
sort of trip the back of your foot as you sort of go to poke down with your sort of rapier, knocking you off balance slightly.
Oh, come on,
s-
my body contact is not that hard, guy.
Listen, it's not my fault. Must just be fate.
Maybe.
You have probably seen Shay take care of one of the rats, and there's this sort of stench of death. Just gets stronger and stronger as you make your way towards.
One second. Sure. Let's burn it. Why not? I cast that the big mama rat.
Mama rat. Okay, yeah. What does your acid arrow look like again, if you remember?
Like an arrow made of acid.
Nice.
Just a spell
Whoa.
scroll, so I assume it's just like
Yeah.
a mundane.
Oh, that's your scroll, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the scroll. So it's gone.
That's second damage. Is that something that I need to roll later? So, okay, yeah, cool. I take damage on the next. Okay, yeah, Urmon, you see as this sort of greenish, sort of sickly arrow just embeds itself into the side of the sort of large rat's belly, and you can see as it does so, it sort of rips open the belly. You see this sort of decaying diseased flesh underneath.
That's gross.
Ash, that brings this round to you.
What does that symbol mean?
That's just to remind me to do the 5 damage on the.
Oh.
Since
Oh,
we
is it
have
not
the same initiative, can I
Oh,
let
no, it's still
Oromorn
alive.
go first?
Yes, you can let Ormond go first if you want. Yeah.
Go ahead, big fella.
Seeing that it's still alive, Ermorn will keep its attention on the bigger one. I will be your opponent now, you bile-filled creature. Unhand my friend. And he'll just pierce at it with Shatter Spike in the same open wound that the arrow had went in.
You sort of slash across this wound. This horrible sort of gunky yellow pusness sort of coming out as you do so. And can you make a Constitution saving throw?
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, cool, that's fine. Yeah, you sort of just cover your mouth as a sort of vile sort of stench emanates from the rat's body. It seems to be clinging on to its life at this point.
And
Ash,
that's
does bring this round to you.
Oh, wonderful. I will. Shit, no, I won't. There's so very little that I feel comfortable doing. Alright, I'm going to step up here and I will cast. I will take my hammer and I'll smash this stupid, ugly shield from the paladin and cast Word of Radiance for fucking 2 damage.
Okay, so let's make a Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
Yeah, cool. You see as the sort of normal sort of giant rat to your left seems to screech out in pain as the heat from your Word of Radiance just sort of burns through the previous wound that you dealt to the rat, causing it to collapse.
Oh, yay.
Nice.
The mama rat doesn't seem to be affected by your spell.
Ooh.
Oh, darn.
Oh, it bloody stinks in here! You see, sort of, he just sort of walks into the room with his sort of his hand over his mouth. You look pretty beat up, dear. He says as he sort of points towards Yushay.
My ankle!
I will ensure that Shantae protects you from any further damage. And he just makes this sort of diagonal sign with his hand and sort of takes it to his eye and looks through it and just points it towards you. And you see this sort of bushel of sort of wheat sort of surrounds you as he casts Sanctuary on you. Okay, that does bring us to your turn, Shane.
I guess I'm just gonna strike this rat because I don't know if this one's been hit yet.
No. No.
And there
You're
goes
gonna
the
hit
sanctuary.
Yeah, it ends the spell.
Does it? Oh, I didn't read. I must have not read it right. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. As you sort of strike through, you see it breaks Erky's face like, oh, I shall not bother in the future then, missus. And you're attacking the normal rat?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool, that's fine.
Yeah.
You bring your sort of scimitar down. You just sort of pierce right, slice right through the center of its body, through its sort of brain and skull.
Nice. Oh, fuck. What can I do? No, I'm just gonna stand here. That's it. That's fine.
And as you do that, you see the giant rat just leaps up and just sort of digs its teeth into your chest.
Oh no!
Well, at least it's different.
As I get a critical hit. And
Oh
Oh no!
How much
he
I hit?
takes 6 piercing damage.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
same as last time.
And you must make another Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Oh no.
4.
And this time you feel sort of this sort of decayingness spreading from your chest.
Yeah.
Your hit point maximum decreases by 5 points.
What?
Cool.
Fever.
Just gotta remember the original.
Let's see, it made you
Okay.
look like you have more health now.
She's fine.
Tara, you can see just ahead of you, this giant rat is just clinging onto
Did it take a
Chase
Yeah.
chest.
Did Mama take its extra
Yeah.
damage?
Oh, that's a good point. I'm just going to move the light. Thank you for reminding me. However, as it's sort of clinging onto you, Shay, you see as its body just splits in half as this is sort of bubbling acidness comes from inside its body. It collapses to the floor, its teeth still sort of embedded in your chest.
Oh, this is disgusting.
You okay, Shay?
I'm fine. It's
Don't you just love rats?
I think I hate them now.
Yeah, I think Karnaka would have some choice words about these creatures as well.
Uh-huh.
As she does about all the creatures.
This is true. Okay,
And
so
so you currently have a disease.
I have a spell
How
scroll
ironic.
of protection from poison. I don't know if I can use that now or if I have to use it before I were to get poisoned. I don't know how that works.
Well, actually, I have antitoxins
Oh,
that could.
Antitoxin
right.
would be for a poison, not for a disease.
Oh, okay.
so with
Oh, okay.
protection from poison.
wouldn't work either. Okay.
Well,
What is that, a restoration spell or something we need?
Yeah, lesser restoration could do it, but I don't actually have it prepared.
I have that, but we'd have to do a long rest.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. I'd have to
Maybe
rest.
Erky has
Oh,
it
yeah.
prepared.
Arky's got to be out of slots.
Yeah, he's been really good to us.
I'm afraid I've
very
exhausted my power with Shantae. I also don't have the skills to cast her spells. Sister Lenora back in Winterhaven could do it for you. Maybe.
Is it?
I'm not really sure.
It's fine. I can make do for now, and I'll just cast Cure Wounds at level 2 on myself. Fuck, that was terrible.
So you attempt to cast Cure Wounds, and the spell has no
What?
effect on you.
no.
Oh god, my magic, it's not working.
Then I
What?
think we may need to rest so that you can recover once we've gotten out of this disgusting hellhole.
Let's
We
confirm the body
Yeah,
first.
Yeah. We also need to get her to her healer.
I can do it myself once we have a long rest.
Well, do you think you will be not sick in the morning?
Maybe.
Either way, we can cure it in the morning.
It feels very draining. You feel like if you're not likely to be cured, you're going to continue to deteriorate.
Oh,
Well,
it's
What
fine.
is-
We'll make do. Let's push on.
the human body?
I don't think that's a good idea.
It's either we rest now and we wait and see what happens, or we keep going and maybe find a solution.
Well, if this is the ranger, we don't really have to go on, right?
It's going to take some time to get out of the Citadel anyway. Might as well rest when we
We'll
can.
probably have to fight our way out.
I'm not doing that with you looking the way you do. Sorry.
Fine.
We're going to rest.
What about this
No.
room? Did you want to do anything while you're in this room?
We're trying to
Human.
Good.
see if it's the
Let's get
ranger.
the body.
Is it
Does he
the
look like a
ranger?
ranger?
I mean, we don't even know.
We have no idea what he looks like now. We're just gonna assume it's
Well,
him.
like, maybe he has something on him.
Does he have a bow on him? If he has
Does
a
he
bow,
have
he's
a name
ranger.
tag that says "My name is Karakas"?
Ranger.
Yeah.
Give yourselves 20 experience points for successfully defeating the rats in this room. This body near you, Ash, seems to be a humanoid of some sort. But as you're sort of searching its corpse, you can see he has studded leather armor. It appears to have 5 daggers on him, a longbow, as well as a backpack which contains a water skin, 1 day's rations, a bedroll, a tinderbox, and 3 torches. He also has a quiver with 6 arrows, indicating that this potentially is your ranger. A potion of healing, a pouch that contains 17 gold pieces. He also has a gold ring on his finger, and it seems to be engraved with the name Karakas.
Yeah.
He does have a name tag!
He's dead! He's dead! We found him, guys!
Why does he have a ring with his own name on it?
It's a little bit pretentious, I know.
Oh, maybe
Well.
he loves himself that much.
When you are the type of person who travels all the time and who enters dangerous
Oh, yeah,
areas,
good
it might
point.
be best so that
ID,
someone
yeah.
could ID your body. It's like a,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I've heard of these things called dog tags, but
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it
that's
might be rare.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like my Enclave badge. If I guess if someone found me dead, they'd know I was from the Enclave.
I will take the healing potion and the gold ring, and I will. Oh, that was dramatic. I will tell everyone that this is our ranger, and I will ask Savina if she would not mind performing a ceremony for his last rites.
Can I take his longbow?
That's fucked up.
It's up to you. I mean, I didn't even take his gold.
I mean, because I have a short bow, but I could use a longbow. Don't they do more damage?
They do.
Yes, they do.
The range is ridiculous on them.
Through like staggered breath, Shay's like, longbow.
Here, I'll carry this. I'll carry this for you, and
Oh, thank you. I am quite nearly at capacity, so that
and
would be
coming
helpful.
to his senses as he goes to pick up the longbow, he also grabs the pouch with the gold in it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, you can also value his gold ring at 10 gold pieces as well.
I would never.
Probably also take just as
Who
proof.
do you look like? Do we look like Karnaka?
As Ashby is sort of examining the ranger and sort of determining that it is Karakas, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Dying.
Just wait.
Everyone's looking for a good spot to kind of
Make sure. Sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. He was just looking for a good place to sit down and rest. But that was all I said.
Yeah, Tara was going to make sure that the gnome wouldn't harass.
Yeah, you know what, Ashby? I still can't find this inscription that you managed to find earlier.
Well, that's okay. Trust me, it's not worth it. We already have one person who is very injured. Though, to be fair, you know, there have been times where if you say something quite unnerving, it might actually do some good and cure some terrible thing. But I don't really want to take that chance.
Best leave it alone, Urky.
I've done a lot of damage to our group in the last couple of days from my curiosity.
Killed me.
A cute little fellow like you's done a lot of damage to these guys.
Oh, let me tell you a little secret.
Oh, yes, please.
Size doesn't really matter, Urky.
No, of course it doesn't. I mean, look at that beautiful beard that you've got. Only short people can grow amazing beards. Look at the rest of these people. Don't have a single whiff of hair on their chins.
That's true. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I
Not
don't
really
think I
capable
can grow
of-
hair. Yeah.
But the rest of them are women and a lizard. So
Excuse me, I'm a dragon.
Oh, it doesn't matter, Ashby. They don't have beards. We do. Beautiful beards.
I don't really remember you having a beard. Hold on, let me double check.
Yes, it is something looking like a beard.
Oh,
He has a goatee
Yeah.
at least.
He's got the chin strap going on, fluffy chin.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, little one. Though you're about my height, so I probably shouldn't call you little one.
He's 2'9", so he's actually smaller than me.
Oh, you're short one. Haha, now Ash is sort of all puffed up and walking around like he's a giant. Alright, so are we going to rest?
She on the other side of the room. Yes.
Well, maybe not in this room if it's so dangerous.
No.
Well, it could provide a level of protection with the 2 pitfalls and whatnot.
That
That's
is
true.
true.
I mean, as long as we don't read the inscription, we should be okay, right?
I don't trust Erky not to find the inscription and read it.
Well, we'll just toss him in one of the holes for the night.
I can hear you, no, I'm not going in a hole. What's wrong with you?
The
What
holes
else
are,
even
hey,
are you?
oh, shush. The holes are better than a cage.
That's true, they're bigger than the cage you were found.
I think that is like a really good idea. Like I personally like it.
Please don't put me in a hole. I've spent over a month in a damn cage already.
Just promise you will ignore the scripture on the fountain.
He just sort of looks at you with this sort of pained look, and he's like, "I promise I won't do that."
On
Yeah,
your
that
oath
Insight.
sounds
to,
like it's
I
a
want
hole.
to insight that.
on your
So-
oath to Shantea.
Oh, fuck.
Why don't we just put something over his eyes?
Yeah, he's lying. And you can just see as you sort of saying that, you can see his sort of eyes just moving towards the statue, and it just seems like he's very, very curious.
That's it. I am nearly on death's door. If you even try to read someone's lips, I will cut you down.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can be very aggressive for a pretty woman, you know that.
Don't call me pretty.
So,
Yeah, walk away.
out of character, I really want to tell him what it says. Arky,
Well,
just,
maybe
just leave it be. Just please. On your oath to Shantea, just leave it be.
You can try and persuade Aki with a persuasion check if you like, Ashby.
Well, considering how skilled I am with persuasion. Nope. Nope.
Nope. And you see, he's grabbing this. He's got like a golden bushel of wheat around his neck. He's sort of grabbing that. And he's like, "Please don't make me swear against Shantae. I would hate to break an oath."
Well, you have two options. You can swear against Shantea or you can spend the night in the trap. I really don't care at this point. But I'm not going to allow you to risk our lives.
All right, I swear against Shantae.
Or more, put
But
him in the
I will
trap.
not read. What does
Or
the
against
scripture say
walking.
so that I can know not to read it?
Little man, you're gonna sit down over there in that corner, and if you move out and look at the wall, and if you move out of that corner, I'm gonna break every one of your limbs.
He will just sort of solemnly make his way to the corner. I only wanted to see what it said. I didn't have to say nothing. There's no need to be so mean, you know.
I think it's best, even though we have this protection, I'll sit up for the first watch and make sure you don't go nowhere near the fountain.
I'm a little tired, but I could take a watch if it's needed.
You need your rest.
You rest.
We're enough people for the watch.
Alex,
Don't
can
worry
I try
about
and
it.
do a medicine check on Shay to see if maybe this is something that we could treat with like any of the shit we found in here?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. You can determine that she has some sort of very sort of powerful disease, and that you think that she will continue to her health will continue to sort of deteriorate every 24 hours if she's not treated. However, you're not able to determine a way to treat her. But like Ashby and Shay have suggested, a lesser restoration spell should cure the effect.
Should.
Okay.
It's okay, Savina. I'll be fine in the morning or whenever we wake.
Shay, would you like me to prepare the spell for you?
It's up to you. I don't mind casting myself.
Well, in that case, be my guest.
Thank you, though. Thank you, Ashby.
But didn't your spells not work earlier?
Oh,
Should we not have Ashby prepare it?
That's a good point. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's fine. I'll do it.
I'll pay you back, Ashby.
Yeah, sure.
Rather be safe than sorry. You understand?
Oh, I understand entirely. That's why I offered. Alright.
Long resting it.
Well, who's taking?
Okay, so you guys are going to do a long rest.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody's taking a watch but Shay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Irma will take the first.
Tara can take the second.
Third or fourth, it doesn't really matter. He is not sneaking by, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
I think the worst part is because we can see these numbers, it just makes it more.
It's like he's another
Savina.
player.
Yeah.
Savina, during your watch, you notice that Ahi seems to be trying to make his way towards the fountain.
Erky, what do you think you're doing?
Oh, didn't see you there, my love. I am just trying to make my stretch my legs. What are you doing?
I'm just keeping a watch.
Have you noticed anything suspicious?
Oh God!
You know, I haven't yet, but you know, why don't you come over here with me, and you can tell me a bit about how you got here. Holding back like just the grimace of oh sweet Jesus.
You can see he's trying to look over his shoulder to look at the sort of statue as you move him away.
She just like bends down slightly and like puts a hand on his shoulder and starts like pushing him back towards the corner.
What was it you wanted to know?
Just why don't you tell me about like your mission and how you got here?
Ooh, well, Sister Lenora decided to trust me with a great important mission of spreading the word about this dark cult. Unfortunately, Lord Pedrak's been away, you see, so we weren't able to tell him at the village, and Ron Kaufman just thought that she was talking rubbish. So she sent me out. I had to go to Orcus first. I had to make my way through the Hurrick Forest. Oh, I was scared. My knees were shaking against each other all the way through. Oh, it was a scary affair. I had to run away from wolves at one point. Oh.
I just nod politely.
As he actually sort of continues to tell you about the trials and tribulation of his journey, but sort of completely none the wiser.
There was a point where I was trying to listen because I heard some names we hadn't heard, and I was like, "Oh boy, I am just me as a player. I can't listen to this."
And eventually, you see tiredness sort of takes over, and he makes his way into the corner. He just sort of, I guess I'll go to sleep now, and just sort of slumps against the sort of back wall. Shay, you feel a couple of kicks during the night as he's sort of next to you. But the rest of your night goes without any problem or issue as you guys complete a long rest. Shay, you do not regain any health.
Oh. But I get back all my hit dice and spells, though, right?
You get back. So you only ever get back half your hit dice, but yeah, you get back half your. So anyone that spent a hit die will regain a maximum of 1, which goes level 3.
Oh, I disappeared.
He's still there on us.
I can still see you.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah.
Go rework some of my
As you awaken, Shay, you feel a lot weaker. As you lose another 6 of your maximum hit points.
Oh man, okay, if you were saying my health, I was like, oh shit, I'm dead. No, okay. So I'm at 40. BR.
Brazil.
Oh, wow. I thought I'd feel better after waking up, but I do not, indeed.
Well, shall we try what we talked about?
Yes, please. Thank you.
I will cast Lesser Restoration on Shay.
Cool, yeah, and you do feel like the effects of the disease seem to pass. And you no longer feel like you're being sort of debilitated by whatever was affecting you. However, you feel like you are permanently weaker because of this.
Wait, so wait, are my hit points now forever 14?
They are.
Oh! I literally just got up to 25 as well. When everything went up, I went up by 10. I'm doing by 10. I jumped in by 11. What the fuck?
Not forever. You will
Oh,
obviously
sorry,
when you
okay.
level up, you'll gain more. But
Fuck, okay. Well, I mean, no, okay, but for now, I'm for 14 for the rest of level 3, though. Is that what you mean?
yes.
Damn!
That's bad.
I'm going to be far less confrontational with enemies now, to be honest.
Well, you did
Welcome
get
to
a
my
longbow,
world.
so
Oh,
God.
that was a rough one.
oh, wow, I didn't expect it.
Cool.
You know, shit, I forgot. We had the apple. I keep forgetting about this
Here,
damn apple.
Keith, I feel like I told you to stay in this corner, so I'm gonna allow you to choose. I'm gonna break because my daddy told me to never threat anyone and then don't follow through on it.
Is she talking to me?
You kind of didn't listen to us, so she's going to break some of your bones.
I understand. Laws.
He's sort of scratching his head. I would really appreciate it if you didn't break my bones. I need them for walking.
Well, I am aware of that, but the next time when I threaten you, you won't take me seriously if I don't follow through on what I said. Now, will you?
I didn't look at the fountain or nothing. He's just sort of pulling his trousers up to like near his chest. He looks really nervous at this point.
I just give him a look like, Sure you did.
See,
Well-
she knows. She knows. I went for a little walk. That's what stretched my legs. I've been in a cage for over a month, you know. Nice to feel the freedom of the movement of the legs.
Well, what should I do?
I think that you shouldn't break my bones, and I'll listen to you next time. How about that?
That sounds good. Maybe we can try that.
I think we should definitely try that. I like my bones.
Well, now that's settled. There's nothing left in this place for us. It's time we be.
I'm going to
I hate
cast
it
Cure Wounds
so
on myself. Okay.
Yep, and as you cast Cure Wounds on yourself, Shay, you feel the sort of golden glare of your spell resonates as sort of normal, and you feel the sort of warmth granted to your body as you are.
I feel a bit better.
8.
Ermorn would be kind of close, taking a look and making sure that you're regaining some of your strengths as well.
I'm fine. I think I'm a bit weaker than I used to be.
Just be careful.
I will. I'll remember not to go after rat mothers from now on.
Stay behind Asheye or even Tara. We'll handle the situation in the front.